How can one of Buckhead's most popular ladies who lunch cafes also be one of my all-time go-to spots? Well, it's easy when everything is made from scratch. From massive meatloaf sandwiches to the most delicious grilled cheese, the freshest salads, and homemade soups. And the desserts, they're at a whole nother level. It's a husband and wife team you can't help but root for. Let's hang at Joy Cafe.
What's interesting about us is we are a husband and wife chef team, which is very unusual. Life is fun, but for better or worse means a whole different thing when you work in a hot, busy commercial kitchen together.
She really brings a lot of, the comfort food, classic food. I tend to do a little bit more avant-garde and a little bit more European style cooking, and I think the two styles work really well together.
Let's just say for people that love food, this is like heaven. Homemade, everything. I know you gotta call it Joy because you're Joy, but homemade everything would be a good title, right?
Yes, it would. It would. That's our philosophy, and that's really what we try to, basically feed you like you're sitting at my table.
Right.
The food's just always good.
A lot of healthy options, fresh options. I think it's a great place and definitely plan to come back.
You can taste the difference. It's much fresher tasting food.
First-time customers that come into the cafe, I definitely recommend they start with our half and half combination, where you can pair half of any of our sandwiches with a soup or a salad. My suggestion would be to start with the Tuscany Sandwich, which is my favorite that we have in-house, and our spinach salad.
And I don't care if they're, Buckhead women lunching or construction workers. They love,
We get those too.
right? Grilled cheeses,
Yes.
meatloaf, shrimp and grits. So where does the inspiration for all the recipes come from?
Well, I like to think of it as elevated comfort food. Basically, everything that I do has been handed down through the generations of the women in my family. So I have recipes that are 100 years old. The chocolate cake is a 100-year-old recipe from my great-grandmother. But really what we try to do is just food we'd be proud to put out. The shrimp and grits is my favorite. It is a Louisiana-style shrimp and grits. So it's not your everyday breakfast grit, especially with the roasted corn with the rosemary in it. It is a garlic, oil, butter, lemon sauce. We're gonna do a generous portion of our grits. And then now we're gonna add the shrimp. We just really do a drizzle on the top of the plate, and then we've got a little lemon, and then a sprig of fresh rosemary. And that is our shrimp and grits.
When we come back, more with Joy and John. And of course, the pie that makes me cry. Atlanta Eats is back. So you and your husband, now this is true today. Not only are you chef and he's host and everything.
And chef.
And chef. Well, let me give him credit because he was parking cars today, right?
We want the family vibe. We
Yeah.
want people to feel like you can come in here and ask whatever you want, and if it's in our power, we'll do it for you.
They always pop out. You always see them at least once or twice while you're eating here.
Let's talk about this though.
Oh,
This is crazy.
This is special.
Because this meatloaf, I mean,
It's so simple, though, steak. I mean, it is just the most simple meatloaf recipe you would ever imagine. It is a family recipe, once again. It's one that my grandmother handed down through the generations of the women in my family.
So this is our Texas toast, a little bit of fresh arugula, some red onion. Finish that off with a little house-made chipotle ketchup. And that is our meatloaf sandwich.
it's amazing. I'm a huge meatloaf guy.
I couldn't imagine
And
that.
you do it with the toast and the ketchup and the onions. I mean, just people watching. That's how meatloaf's supposed to
That's
taste.
what's supposed to
Right?
taste like.
That's how
yeah.
meatloaf's supposed to taste. And I do have a problem with you, and I don't want to make it uncomfortable on camera.
Oh, dear.
But you added like 7 grilled cheeses, right? And I have a lot of problems with making decisions with food. And then you
made
go
it
and you
hard.
throw a whole nother section of grilled cheeses that are just over the top, and it gives me a lot of anxiety. I don't know which one to choose.
Which one do you?
Take me through that whole grilled cheese menu.
Well, here's what we started with: just a simple grilled cheese, an artisanal cheddar on a good bread.
Yeah.
And then we got to thinking, what else can we do with a grilled cheese?
We really started experimenting in different ways to do grilled cheese.
Pimento cheese sandwich. Bacon and tomato really seals the deal.
I had the California grilled cheese with avocado and Gruyere cheese. It's really tasty. Grilled cheese is one of my favorite things to eat, especially paired with this great tomato soup. I mean, it's really nice. It's very good. good. It's the best tomato soup I've ever had.
Getting stuff that's handmade and made from scratch is really great. And so the tomato soup for me is a great thing to have alongside my sandwich.
You know, my brother came in from Boston. We brought him here for lunch. He was here for 2 days. He had 3 meals here in 2 days. He just kept coming back and coming back. And I think he came back for this right here. This is, everything begins and ends with one of the most fabulous desserts.
I actually want to give Ashley Bates, who was a pastry chef for me, but it was something her mom did with Chips Ahoy and Cool Whip. And of course, I don't allow either one of those things in my restaurant.
Right.
So we do it with our house-made chocolate chip cookies.
Homemade chocolate chip cookies.
Homemade chocolate chip cookies and a sweetened whipped cream.
Right.
And it is literally layered.
And the name of this, and I'm going to do the greatest service for anybody watching, right? This right here, give me the official, it's nice and slow. What's this called?
This is called our cookies and milk pie.
Cookies and milk pie, which we have had for holidays and big events. And is it a holiday when it's a Tuesday and I have like, I have 2 pieces at lunchtime?
I think so.
And the Atlanta Eats office?
You know, Joy's food has no calories, right?
This is like, it's not even evil because it tastes like light, right?
It does. I really don't want to do a calorie count on it.
No, I'm not interested in that. I know I leave with a smile always.
Yes, that's all we want. We just want happy customers.
Great. Thanks for having us.
We're glad to have you stay. Always a pleasure.